YouTube. In today's video, we're going to be discussing what is arguably probably the best phone of the year. This is the Galaxy Samsung S24 Ultra. Now, you can't be on top or close to the top without, some nitpicks and controversy. So just a few things about this device that were a little, hard to swallow, considering that we were coming from the S23 Ultra, which, as you guys can see, looks almost identical. But there were some changes: the new titanium, the flat screen, yes, as well as the anti-reflective screen coating or whatever technology that is. So a lot of great things. And of course, battery life, the battery king of Android. But, this design has been recycled more than enough at this point. So hopefully with the S25 Ultra, which per the leaks, as usual, there are going to be some design changes coming to the S24 Ultra, or shall I say the S25 Ultra, updating this design. But yes, this design is tried and true. It is a classic, but at this point, considering where we've been over these last, handful of years, it could definitely use a redesign. But outside of that, this phone is magnificent. And speaking of design, as you guys can see, this thing is bare bones, no case, naked, and it still looks great to this day. Now, I remember early when I first got this thing, I was outside doing some camera testing, and I had the aramid fiber thin case, because that's the only type of case I typically would do, and it saved this device because I had dropped it down on the corner, right at the S Pen area, and luckily, as you guys can see, the S24 Ultra has held up extremely well, even due to that drop mishap. Now, I've been basically using this device without a case, 98%. I just had that case on at one time and that saved my life. So I'm gonna tell you now, put a case on it, especially if you spent the bag. But typically with Galaxy devices, from Samsung, you get great trade-in deals. It's easy to stay within the ecosystem of the Samsung Galaxy world. The S24 Ultra, from a design and build quality perspective, this is one of the shining stars about this thing. It is built beautifully well. It's just that this square, rectangular, pointy design, which isn't for everyone. Some people complain about it in their palms. I think it's time for a redesign, and it's rumored that these edges are finally getting rounded off with the S25 Ultra. But that does not take away from the greatness of the S24 Ultra and how well this device was built. And it just literally bleeds quality. So W from Samsung, from the design team of the S24 Ultra. Now, another area in design on this device, which is helping make this thing be the best phone of the year, is the screen. Especially this anti-reflective screen, because in an environment like this, I have a lot of lights on, and typically you would get crazy reflections, even if I turn that off. You see how muted that is? Now, for comparison's sake, this is the S23 Ultra, which doesn't have the anti-reflective, and you guys can see the difference in the reflection of my big light right here. So that is a huge improvement, and that technology is so fire from Samsung, which just adds to the beauty of the screen. Now, yes, when you're just in a non-reflective environment and you look at the screen, it can have somewhat of this dim character to it, but all in all, it does not affect this screen in no way, shape, or form. This thing is still beautiful, and it's still one of the best smartphone screens, as is said year after year. This is a Samsung device. That's one of the things you guys are going to hear on repeat: the best screen. So shout out to Samsung for continuing that legacy with the S24 Ultra. And this device right here is just absolutely fire for consuming media, watching video. I love it. I love the setting of this device. I love the ratio. I love the color accuracy. Now, to get color accuracy, there's two different type of Samsung users out there. There are the people who love vivid, and then there are people like me who love color accuracy, and I go for the natural. But if you go into vivid, you have this vivid slider right here, which in the beginning, a lot of people were saying, oh, this screen isn't as vivid as previous Samsung screens, so they added in this vivid slider. I am a natural user because I love color accuracy, and that values way more than a vivid, oversaturated picture. But to some people, to the eye, that looks better. I'm not gonna judge. If you vivid as all vivid as can be, then keep being as vivid as can be. Yeah, so carrying on, screen is super fire, and what adds to this screen being super fire are the speakers. The speakers in the S24 Ultra. Now, the S Ultra speaker consistency over the last, years has been kind of like up and down, back and forth. I would really love for Samsung to really just dial that all the way in, but from a personal perspective, the S24 Ultra has done me with no issues. Like I don't know, what did that sounded crazy. The S24 Ultra speakers are solid enough for me. I enjoy watching and consuming media on this device without a doubt. It did not do me, okay? So let's get straight into what really adds to this phone being top for the year, and that is battery life. Listen, battery life is everything in the day of the smartphone era of everyone's on TikTok scrolling or they're gaming. Everyone's heavy on the battery nowadays because a lot of people do and live a lot of their life within the smartphone. It's a reality. So this bad boy with the 5,000 milliamp hour battery, which no, we did not get an increase over the previous S Ultra device, but still, what we did get was an increase in efficiency. So we did get an increase in battery life overall due to the efficiency of that Snapdragon 8 Gen 3. So shout out to Snapdragon, and Snapdragon finna hit us with another chip upcoming on the next S25 Ultra, but the Snapdragon chip that's inside of the S24 Ultra has yielded a more than stellar battery life. So if you are one of those users on the Android platform and you want some of the best battery, here you go. Plain and simple. S24 Ultra, it's that easy. And it is that good. And let's just kind of lean into performance. If you are a gamer, you like gaming on your smartphone mobile device, oh, this thing right here, this GPU is cooking. And you get that extra battery life and performance. This thing is a great gaming device. It's actually etching out the iPhone this year for gaming. Again, adding to the argument as for this being phone of the year. So with that all being said, let's carry into the next topic of discussion, and that's these things right here. I mean, the cameras. Now, S Ultra devices have my favorite front-facing camera. We'll start there with the favorites. The front-facing camera on this device, I absolutely enjoy and appreciate because the quality that you get out of it is really, really good. Matter of fact, let's just snap a photo now. This is on, just letting Samsung do what they do. And then we have Pro Photo mode, which this is the mode you want to get into if you really want to take advantage of this camera and the quality that you could actually get out of it. So as you guys can see, let's see, we got to get the white balance right. So if I get my white balance right, exposure values correct, I'm gonna take a photo right there. And let's get a portrait cracking, because Okay, so the front-facing camera is by far one of my favorite front-facing cameras, especially if you shoot pro video. Oh man, the quality you can get out of this, or if you use the pro camera mode, is top tier. Now, the AI automatic mode in Samsung is not my favorite. It's never been. I've consistently said this year after year, I don't like the way it over brightens my skin tones. And yeah, that's just my issue. Now, moving on to the rear cameras, we got some, big, crazy megapixel cameras on here. Some of the best camera arrays on the Android, ecosystem. Now, there's a ton of Android camera competitors, especially over in the over the waters market, overseas and so forth. So, it gets very tough to be the best camera, but the camera is really good. And how I've corrected the skin tone issue is by using pro video mode and also doing things like this. Like I will add an ND filter via this case. I use this freewheel hookup all the time, year after year. And I have an ND filter. Right now, this is a snow mist filter, which just kind of takes off the digital edge, but I also can stack the ND filter. And this brings the quality and the control along with pro video mode or pro photo mode to my liking. And it helps me correct the skin tones and the errors that the AI camera makes, in my opinion. So outside of that, the cameras are fire. I've gotten great quality. I actually, I've been shooting a lot of like paid gigs with this device. Let's talk about it. You know what I mean? You know, you can shoot 8K video on this thing. You can control the camera and you can capture like jaw-dropping phenomenal footage. So I just wanted to throw that out there because this thing is a great camera. I don't agree with the, you know, auto camera mode, but if you take control, these cameras really shine. I love them. So let's get into user experience. I'm trying to get through this video quick. I don't need to waste your time. Again, there isn't much in the area of persuasion needed to argue this for phone of the year. But the number one thing that all of these devices, when we're using them on a day-to-day basis, is user experience. Now, there's only one device that can rival this device for phone of the year for me personally, before I get into user experience, and that's the Z Fold 6. By far my favorite user experience on Android this year. I just gotta throw that out there because we're gonna have to do a conversation about the Z Fold 6 upcoming. But S24 Ultra, the user experience on this thing, the UI, One UI, the overall smoothness of this device yields the ideal Android user experience. Now, for me personally, I use Nova Launcher. So if you're gonna look at my thing and wonder how my layout is and how I got this way, this is Nova Launcher, and the icon pack is the crayon icon pack. Now I got my custom widget right here, and this setup right here, this customization right here, this user experience, you can't get on an iPhone. And you guys know my preference, but this right here is one of the reasons why I could never let go, and I could easily inch the S24 Ultra as phone of the year over other devices, despite some of the pluses of those devices. You know what I mean? Again, this is all subject to your opinion and your thoughts. But the user experience on here, the UI, the overall smoothness, this actually has AI on it. We're not still waiting for it. And just all in all, this is a well-packaged, all-around great device. And my user experience gets even better when I add on the Samsung accessories, such as the Galaxy Watch 6 Classic. CJ, why aren't you talking about the Galaxy Watch Ultra? Let's get it out of here. This is the Galaxy Watch Ultra, right? This is not my favorite looking smartwatch. I love how well it runs. I love the battery. I love like the experience. I just don't love the look. You know what I mean? If I had to choose what's going on my wrist, it's this all day. So this is my, you know, Samsung ecosystem additive over the Galaxy Watch Ultra. And then we have the Buds 3 Pro. Yeah, they look familiar, but that aside, these are really good. Transparency mode is really good, and the active noise cancellation on these is really good. I'm adding this together right here, and I'm getting one of the best user experiences on the Samsung ecosystem. But the experience goes even further. I'm just showing you guys the Samsung ecosystem, because a lot of times, you know, we get carried away talking about Apple ecosystems, and Samsung ecosystem doesn't get enough love. So let me shed a little bit more love. And we have it here. Boom. The Tab S10 Ultra right here. Now, this bad boy is rocking the MediaTek chip. This bad boy is big and beautiful. Not much changed in the design perspective from year over year. I didn't do a dedicated video to this, but this tablet right here, let me show y'all this screen. Hold on. Hey, and I don't know if you guys know, I've said it in the past before, but when I'm traveling, this is the tablet that I take. This is my tablet of choice when I'm traveling. I'm chilling in the hotel bed. I don't even need the hotel TV. I got this joint right here. This thing is massive. And when I'm on the airplane, on flights, this just takes that user experience to the next level. But everything works together seamlessly. And I just wanted to point that out, and I wanted to give props to the Samsung ecosystem. Samsung Knights, you're welcome. I'm giving y'all proper due diligence right here. User experience in the whole on the S24 Ultra, great. I love it. I enjoy this device. This is an easy go-to throughout the year. You guys wonder, yes, I'm always swapping phones. I'm here and there, but I always got one Android, one iPhone on me. Sometimes, it fluctuates, but generally that is my everyday carry. This is one of the best looking smartwatches. These are some of the best sounding Android earbuds with noise cancellation. This is definitely the best tablet experience of all tablets. And then you have what is easily phone of the year.
I rise and I wake and I gotta go get it. I'm making my bed and it's straight to the digits.
No. Before we get too carried away, I said it can arguably be phone of the year. I don't know if it's necessarily my pick for phone of the year. Next video coming up, we're gonna talk about the Z Fold 6 and how this can easily be a contender for phone of the year. And then of course, we'll come back with the iPhone 16 Pro Max. And then we'll duke it out, right? Or is it just this one? Comment down below, let me know.
No cup of jokers, this is acidic, so I take a shot with the lemon and ginger. Look in the mirror like, yeah, I'm that. Look in the mirror like, I'm fitted. Looking outside like the world is all mine. Look in the mirror like, go get it. I gotta get to the scene, I gotta get to the bag now. I can't be chasing on these. They getting, they feeling and dragged down. That's why they just crash out. Stuck in the selling this man down. Life getting gone in a flash now. Spinning and I'ma stand down. I done seen these